Hey guys, okay, we are live on YouTube for take two. Hopefully, I get through it this time without any technical problems. Um, if you are watching and want to leave a comment and say hi, introduce yourself, let's connect. All right, so I wanted to come on here today and talk about cold emailing a little bit more because it's such a powerful way to land clients. If you have any kind of client-based business, whether you are a freelancer, like a writer or a social media manager, if you're any kind of coach or consultant, any kind of business that needs clients to make revenue, you can use cold emailing to bring in new clients. Um, and client acquisition is something that I've noticed catches a lot of people off guard because what a lot of people don't realize is that when you become a freelancer, consultant, any kind of solopreneur, entrepreneur, you automatically become a business owner. And as a business owner, you're going to have to wear a lot of hats. And one of those responsibilities you're going to have to take on is landing new clients. Um, this is a new skill for many of us. When I first started writing for a living, writing, to make money, I was very confident in my skills as a writer, but the thought hadn't even crossed my mind that I would have to go out and land clients. I thought being a good writer would be enough, and it's not. And what a lot of us find out is that our skill, our profession, writing, social media, whatever, ends up being the easy part. And the really hard part is getting new business. One of the most common ways that a lot of freelancers find new clients is through something called bidding sites. Now, I wanted to touch on this before we get to cold emailing because you need to be very careful with these. On a bidding site, your potential clients will post a job that they need done, an assignment they need done, and then freelancers will bid on those jobs. They will submit usually their resume, a couple of samples, and their rates. And then you just have to hope that you get hired for that job. The problem is, there are a few problems. First, you're going to have insane competition. Because the barrier to entry for bidding sites is so low, everybody uses them. So you will be bidding against dozens and sometimes hundreds of other people who look just like you, at least to the client, and you're competing against them. And what really sucks is that a lot of these people, unfortunately, are willing to work for very little money. So if you want to, beat them for the job, you have to have a rate that is as low as theirs or lower. And I mean, these people will work for cheap. They will write 1,000 words, for example, with writers for a few dollars. And how are you going to make a real living with this? So you have to apply for, seriously, you have to bid on hundreds of products to get maybe a few, and you're going to be paid like crap. So what's the point? There are much better ways to land clients, to consistently land clients and make more money, and cold emailing is one way to do that. Cold emailing at this point is almost my only source of new business. I still pick up, clients from word of mouth here and there. But when I want to land new clients and scale my business, I start sending cold emails, and that's all I do. There are two main reasons why cold emailing works so well. First, you're able to qualify your lead before you reach out to them. And when we say qualify, we mean that you are looking for three things. There are three requirements a lead has to meet before you'll cold email them. They need to be interested in your services, they need to be open to your services, and they need to be able to afford them. There's a process that you can go through to determine whether or not a lead meets these three requirements. And that right there is going to weed out so many leads that you either will never have the chance to work with or wouldn't want to work with because they're not going to pay you what you want. And one of the biggest mistakes I see freelancers make is that they just send as many cold emails as possible because a lot of us think that it's a numbers game, which we'll talk about later. And it is partly a numbers game. But the problem is if you send 500 poorly worded cold emails, or if you send 500 really good cold emails to really bad leads, it's not going to matter that you send so many. You're not going to close a deal. Okay, so that's why cold emailing can be so powerful, because you pick and choose who you reach out to. You don't just email everyone and hope for the best. The second thing I want to point out, your cold emailing templates, if you really want cold emailing to work for you, you have to have templates that allow you to come at this from, the position of, I'm just a human being, they're just a human being, they have a problem, I have a solution. Don't try to sell them, because people know when they're being sold to and they don't like it. It makes them feel cheap and it makes them feel like a number. When you reach out to people, you want to treat them as their own individual, unique case, because they are. So even if you're providing the same services to them that you provide to all your other clients, you need to look at them as an individual. What are their problems, their goals, their pain points? What have they tried so far? What's worked? What hasn't? This means that you cannot use one template that you're going to send to everyone, because everyone's not the same. Now, to be clear, I'm not telling you to write a completely unique email from scratch for every cold email you send. You don't need to do that, and that would take a really long time. Thankfully, it's not necessary. What I suggest is that you have 3 to 5 templates, and you switch between them, and have fields that you will personalize for the recipient, like their first name, the company name, and then little facts about them throughout the email. So for example, when I'm cold emailing people to sell my writing services, I will mention a blog they previously published or a topic they covered. And that tells the lead that you looked into them. You're not just trying to pitch your services to everyone and anyone. You looked into them, you familiarized yourself with their brand, and you know a little more about them. This is a small step you can take. Maybe spend an extra 2 or 3 minutes, learning about this company online and putting some of those details into your cold email. And it's going to make such a huge difference in your conversion rates, because people know when they are receiving the same email that you sent to a bunch of other people. It is very obvious. All right. So you want to have 3 to 5 templates that you can rely on and just plug in the individual details. If you don't want to come up with those templates, I have 5 that are ready to use. They are proven templates that land me clients. They've been landing me clients for years, and those are available on both Gumroad and Etsy. I will put the link in the description of this video. All right. So those are the 2 factors that make cold emailing so powerful. The fact that you can qualify your leads, and the tone with which you communicate to get across to people that you're just trying to help them. So you don't want to come at it as the sleazy salesperson. You want to come at it from, I can provide value, I can deliver results. And it's going to make a huge difference in the tone of your emails and how people perceive you. Okay, so in this live stream, I wanted to be sure that I provided you with actionable steps, things that you could take and immediately go apply to your own business. So that's what I'm going to get into next. I mentioned a few minutes ago that a lot of people think cold emailing is a numbers game. And to an extent, it is. It is in the sense that you shouldn't send 1 email, 2 emails, and expect great results. Because still, for the most part, you're going to be ignored or turned down. But you also don't need to send 500 emails to get a response. It is very much 100% a balance between quantity and quality. And I don't care how many emails you send. If you don't do it the right way, if you don't spend the time that you should be on every individual email and every lead, it's never going to work. So what you're not going to do, we talked about this already, but just to recap, you're not going to send the same email. You're not going to, mass email 10, 20, 50 people at once. You're going to personalize every single email you send out. You're going to have the recipient's name, their company name, and as I mentioned, a few comments or observations on things you saw online. All right. On that note, be very careful with tools and softwares that allow you to mass email people and still personalize them. So for instance, you can input a bunch of email addresses and then you put your template in, and the template will say, hi, first name here. And the tool is supposed to automatically plug in the contact's first name. Sounds great in theory. The problem is, I've used some of these tools before. They are very unreliable, they are glitchy, and they often change the formatting, the look of your email, and it makes it very obvious that it wasn't something you sat down and wrote and sent to them individually. So I can't stress this enough. Spend the extra few minutes really crafting a quality email to a lead that you researched, and you will reap the benefits from that. So that was the first step. Second step, the email that you write, make it all about them. Don't make it about you. When you cold email someone to ultimately pitch your services, all they want to know, all they care about is what's in this for me. And they're probably getting emails from people like you, quite a bit. And you need to make very clear to them why you are worthy of a second look. So your email should say, like almost right off the bat, I can help you buy, and then fill in the blank. What do they get? What benefits do they get out of this relationship? For me, as a writer, I tell them increased website traffic, better rankings in Google, more email signups, a lower bounce rate, more time spent on site, things that they get as a benefit of my work. Note that I don't mention as a benefit SEO, keyword research, optimized content. Those are features. That's another thing. You want to make sure you understand the difference between features and benefits. A feature is what you offer. It's the skill or the task that you offer. Keyword research, SEO. The benefit is what they get out of it. So better rankings, better website traffic. You need to speak their language. So whatever results your work will deliver for them, that should be the top of your email. And then you can get into features, and then you can share a sentence or two about yourself. I'm not saying those things are bad or that you shouldn't mention them. Of course, tell them a little bit about you. But our tendency is to send emails and talk all about ourselves. Understandably, we want to convince people and win them over and explain why we're better. And it's all important stuff. But to get their attention and keep it right off the bat, answer the question, what's in it for them? Then, like I said, you can get into features and then tell them a little bit about you, 1, 2, maybe 3 sentences. That's the second step. Make the email all about them. Third step, moving down towards the end of the email. You should always end with a CTA, a call to action. A call to action is any statement or question that prompts the recipient to do something. For example, do you have time to hop on a phone call tomorrow? That's a call to action. You are trying to move the relationship forward by getting them on the phone. And when you craft your CTA, you need to make it as easy on them as possible to answer. So don't just say, can we get on the phone? Or I'd love to hop on a call with you, because that doesn't move the relationship forward. The better CTA gets them to commit to a date and time. So to make things really easy for them, you could say, do you have time tomorrow at 1 p.m. for a quick call? Or do you have time on Friday for a quick call? Here are 3 potential times, which works best for you. And it makes it really easy for them to say this one, or yes, I have time. Don't make them do any work. Another great idea that, I connected with another, I think she was a writer, ask them for their calendar link. Don't give them yours, because then you're giving them work to do. You're asking them to schedule a time on your calendar. But if they have a calendar link, maybe through Calendly, it might be in their signature block, go schedule a time with them. And make sure you tell them, hey, I'm, reserving a slot on your calendar so we can talk more. But the point is, it has to move the relationship forward, and it has to be easy on them. My cold emails almost always end trying to get the lead on a phone call, because closing people on the phone is way easier than closing them over email. And I know a lot of us have phone anxiety. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. I'll do it, and I know I need to do it, and I've gotten comfortable with it, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. Honestly, it's not going to matter. If you want to bring in new clients, you have to get on the phone. Really, it's a matter of practice. I've done it a million times, and once you do it enough, you don't care anymore. You've gotten over it. So practice by yourself, just talking out loud. Practice with a friend, your partner, someone online. You can have calls on the phone, on Skype, on Zoom, wherever, but you got to get comfortable getting on the phone with leads, because it's just going to be way easier to close people on the phone. They have a better opportunity to get to know you, and you don't really have as much of a chance to hide when you're on your phone. An email, you can, manipulate. That's not to say you would, but you can twist it and word it in a way to really change someone's perception of you, and they can do the same to you. But when you get on the phone, it's harder to hide your true colors. So really, it's beneficial for the both of you. And this is your opportunity to kind of feel them out too. Don't forget that. All right, that was the first step. The third step, always end your email with the CTA. Lastly, LinkedIn. If you are not using LinkedIn to land clients, you are leaving so much money on the table. I know a lot of us have a profile already. If you don't, go create an account. And if you do, you need to revisit your account. And you need to ask yourself, is my profile optimized? When I say optimized, I mean it in the literal sense. LinkedIn is a search engine. It operates similar to how Google does. So if a company is looking to hire a graphic designer, they go on LinkedIn and they search graphic designer. And then LinkedIn delivers a search results page. If you want to show up higher in the search results, you have to optimize your profile with relevant keywords. Now, similar to how you would optimize a blog or a landing page, you don't want to shove as many keywords in there as possible. It's not about that. It still needs to read well. But when you optimize your page, it makes it more visible. It makes it easier for people to find you, and you'll have clients coming to you. I've had clients find me on LinkedIn, and it's like the easiest way to land new business. But also, LinkedIn is such a good place to make that initial connection with your leads, because it's a little more personal than a cold email. And I've found that when I incorporate LinkedIn as part of my cold emailing process, when I first connect with them there and then take the conversation to email, people are a lot more open and a lot more receptive. And yes, it's an extra step. Yes, it's a little extra time. Do it anyway. You have to bear in mind that we're talking about a few extra minutes of work for a client that will bring you several hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every month. And I hope we all agree that it's more than worth the extra investment of your time. All right, if you don't know how to optimize your LinkedIn page, no worries. I've got a free guide on that. I'm going to put the link to that in the comments. It will tell you how to find relevant keywords, where to put them, and a few extra tips for how you can optimize your page and use your page to make yourself more visible, and also leverage your LinkedIn account more to land high-paying clients. LinkedIn is a gold mine. All right, that's all I've got for you today. So in the comments, look out for my 5 proven cold email templates. You can copy paste them. I will leave you the link to that. And then I will also drop the link to the guide to optimizing your LinkedIn profile. And if you guys have any questions, or if you would like to see more of these live streams in the future, just drop me a comment and I will catch you later. All right, take care.